Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Now we're going to try something a little different now. We're going to play a game. I want you to guess where I am. And I want to give you hints, okay? And what I want you to do is guess what third world country I am in. Now, like I said, I want to give you hints. And I want to explain how these hints work. Okay? So, okay, here we go. We're going to start. Like I say, on all these levels, crime is, who decides who the criminals are? Who does that? Well, I think it's the corrupt law enforcement, the corrupt justice system. I think it's all the officials, everyone involved. So I think the corruption pretty much runs throughout the whole system. Like I say, I don't speak Spanish, so I just kind of go along with whatever. I don't stand in lines, but one thing I've learned is whenever you stand in line, things aren't good going to happen to you. So, but anyway, you do have to stand in line a lot down here because of the government control on everything and all this stuff. People depend on the government for the government entitlements or handouts or whatever you want to call them. In other words, the government does its best to make these people, stand in line. Do what we tell you, then we can give you more food. Now, it's a little more difficult. When it comes to food, it's difficult because down here there's so much food everywhere that they can't really use food as a controlling factor. When you have plenty of food, it's hard for people to tell you what to do. Government official type people, because you've got means to feed yourself. And now these people, seeing that they no guns, they have to use a machete to protect themselves. That's why when they protest or they step out of line, they pretty much either die or in jail for whatever dorky reason they can come up with for putting them in jail. Now water, they try to control the water. As a matter of fact, they don't try. They really do control the water. We're up in the mountains, and they pretty much control the water. So who gets the water and how much water they're going to get. I think it's so funny. These people, I tell you, they're so stupid. They are really not too smart. The government tells them how much water they can use every day. It'd be kind of like like if the government's going to tell you how much water you can use to take a shower or something like that, something stupid like that. And then there's also the lights. They tell these people what kind of light bulbs they can use. Like they're idiots. They don't even know what kind of light bulb they can use. So they tell them this is the only light bulb you can use. So then that's it. It's funny. I think they do that in the United States, but I don't know, maybe not. But anyway, these people are so dependent on the government. They can't figure out how much water, they can't figure out what kind of light bulbs they use. They don't even know how to take care of themselves. They're dependent on the government health system. And I'll bet you when you look, you're going to see these people really have a good long life. I don't think they have a good long lifespan. I know what lifespan they have is not that good. There's lots of sickness and illnesses going on. They say they're fixing them, but they don't. People seem to get sicker and they die, and they die young. I say I'm 64, and I'm not dependent on their system, and I am healthier than most of their 40-some-year-olds. And so I would say maybe maybe they need to think of something different than what is offered to them through their insurance and their government assistance type programs. But hey, everybody's got their own way of looking at things, and some people really believe, and these people, they believe their government knows what's good for them. No, they don't. The people here don't believe the government is good. The people here know their government is corrupt and nasty. They just don't have any means to get their point out. All of the newspaper, television, radio, it's all controlled by the government. It's just propaganda coming through but they know that. Huh. You know, I'm wondering, maybe these people aren't quite as stupid as I thought they were. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that some more, too. It's funny. When they get you on these roadblocks, because they're looking for contraband. You know, I mean, you know, there's some bad stuff out there. And that's what they're looking for. And I know one time they stopped me and they caught me with some contraband, some bad stuff. It was rotaflare. I usually travel with, you know, you strike them like a match, and then when I have a breakdown, I put it like that at night so then people don't run over me. Well, that's contraband. You can't have that. And I'm sure they have good reasons. I mean, after all, they're the ones that make the laws. Wait a minute, it's not a law. It's, I don't even think it's no, I don't think it's a regulation either. I don't know what that falls under. But anyway, they can say what is legal or not legal. So how much money do you have? You know, I mean, you know, like it's their business on how much money I have? Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, they put a number. And what that number is, I don't know. Different countries have different numbers, what they call, you know, contraband and stuff. You know, I mean, not like the United States. No, I guess the United States does too. They've got a limit on how much money you can have in the United States. I don't know. It used to be at one time $10,000. Used to be at one time. But I notice now when you start working with even amounts of, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in cash, the bank officials kind of get a little funny, and they remember and they write names and stuff like that down. So I'm not quite sure what they call contraband, the amount of dollars in contraband. I'm not quite sure how they do that. And the same thing when they stop you, the food. Like, see, now I travel with a lot of food. I carry a lot of food with me because I know the change of diet is going to make me sick. So I try to carry a lot of food. They don't like me with so much food. And I don't know what they think I want to do with it. Like it's even their business. I don't know. Maybe it is their business. I mean, after all, they're government officials. They know better than me. I mean, I'm one of the stupid ones running around down here, see, so, but maybe they know. I don't know. But what is contraband? I don't know. It's whatever they say it is at that particular moment, and who it is that's stopping you for what kind of bribe they're thinking they're going to get out of you. Or maybe it's not a bribe. Maybe they want to confiscate your car. Or maybe they want to take a look in your house. I don't know. They make the rules. They know what they want to do. We have no idea what's going on. All we know is they're trying to control us like a bunch of cattle. But that's here in a third world country. Okay, now one thing that's going on here that really amazes me, and that is the limitations they have in goods and services. They only have so much. And I think it's really weird how this is. But then again, this is a small country. They don't produce too much here. And so all their stuff is brought in. And so they don't have that much stuff being brought in. They just bring in what is the the majority of the people feel they need. The minority doesn't really care about what the few people say. So that's why, like in my lifestyle, vitamins and minerals and stuff like that, natural stuff is vitally important for my health. And it's very difficult to get good quality vitamins down here, and it's just, you just can't find them. So that's one of the things that are done. I think it's really weird. Now my work, I do energy work where I work on the body and I take away pain just by using my hands. I don't need medicine and all that other stuff. And it takes away pain instantly. I can evaluate the body and all that kind of stuff, all in one treatment, and it'll help you improve your life. And that is against the law. So my profession is against the law down here. But yeah, it's not really against the law. There's no really law. I think it falls under regulations, so, and, some of the corrupt people down here is the medical community. So of course the medical community wants to protect themselves. So anybody can come along with something better, any kind. If you have services that are even better than theirs and cheaper, and of course they don't want that. That's not good for their business, So I mean, they want you sick. So that's why they want people like me out. They want me regulated, and once you get regulated, it's just a matter of time when they regulate you out. I mean, that's the problem I had when I was in the United States. I was in the oil business, and they regulated me out. I was in the restaurant business, and they regulated me out. Well, of course, these regulations are good and well intended, because they didn't want me using fresh food. Heaven forbid me using fresh food. I mean, it has to come from some certified somebody, because if you're not certified, you don't know. See, that's the mentality of government regulations. If they can't control you, you don't know anything that's going on. So, and it's not like I still have the same problem in the United States, but the medical community is dug in pretty deep, and they don't want anybody doing anything any better than them. Heaven forbid somebody, gets healed. They don't want that. They want you in their system so you can keep coming back, so they can keep making more money. Well, it's kind of like the government. They want you in their system so then they can control you. Well, that's what they do down here. It's all just like that. What can they do to control you? Now, I tell you, I think it's funny. I'm going to give you another hint where I'm not, and that is Cuba. Cuba is a communist country. Now, it's the only communist country I've been in. And they are all regulated. Everybody is certified. Everything is regulation. Everything. And I thought, well, what does that mean? Oh, I didn't know that. I knew that before I went, but I didn't really know what that meant. And one of the things was I was trying to talk to somebody and trying to talk English in Cuba. You're not going to get very far. There's not that many people who speak English. But that wasn't even my problem. My problem was nobody was going to talk to me. And so seldom did I find anybody to talk to me. And then when I did, they wouldn't stand next to me, or we couldn't talk face to face. So all this stuff that I taught earlier about manners, forget that. No, there wasn't any. They would walk next to me, about 5 or 6 foot away next to me, and we would talk, and you have to look forward while you're talking. Don't look at them. And the reason is they weren't certified by the government to talk to me, the tourist. So, in other words, when you're certified, they tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. And if you screw it up, you go to prison. See, so, or if you screw it up, you don't get much food, and they regulate the food there. So you'll get a coupon book. It's about that thick for, like say a quarter pound of beef or some vegetables or whatever. And if you've been a good communist, that's what you're going to get. Now, if you've been talking to me and you're not certified, well, then now your book is going to be a little smaller. So you're going to get less to eat. And the thing that's funny is everybody in Cuba, I mean, everybody, they're citizens, and of course me, I'm a tourist traveling through, you always have to have your papers, but their own citizens had to have papers. And they got this book, it looks like a small passport. And if this person was talking to me, and somebody saw him talking to me, and they told one of their law enforcement people that, hey, look, he's talking to the tourist. And then they come over, they take this guy to the side, and then, okay, he's been talking to me, and he's not certified. Okay, so that means he's going to write it in his little passport. And at the end of the month, when he goes in and gets his coupon book, they're going to look in there and they're going to say, ah, you've been talking to tourists. And then so now they're not going to give him that coupon book, they're going to give him that coupon book. And the person that ratted on him, okay, he's going to get his coupon book for food, but they're going to give him maybe another 5 pounds of rice, extra rice this month, because they've been a good communist, So it's funny how they rat on each other. Okay, now what's really weird is, in the United States, we've been taught to do this. And we don't even have to be certified. All you have to do is just dial 911. I'm ratting on somebody because I don't have the balls to take responsibility. There it is right there. Or you can say the anonymous. Well, these people aren't good parents. So then this all gives the government authority to come in somebody else's business. So we've learned how to rat on people the easy way. And so, but anyway, that doesn't happen where I'm at. So they don't rat on anybody down here. No. When somebody does a crime down here, if they catch them, if the people can catch them, they will throw gasoline on them and burn them. So when you get caught doing something bad down here, you want the police. You want the police to hurry up and come. Because the longer it takes, the more chance you're going to be burned to death. So that's what I'm saying. They don't rat on people down here. But I know they do in other places. In Vietnam, they ratted on each other all the time. I'm not saying that they were ratting on people justly. I've seen people rat on somebody because they were jealous of them. And they would rat on them. And at that particular time, in that particular place, they would come in, they would arrest the person, and they would snatch them up, take them off to some place where they do some kind of a trial or whatever they do to them, and then they're punished. And they didn't even do anything wrong. But that happens in other places. If you've been keeping up with my videos, I just basically tell stories, and I just talk about the stuff that I've experienced. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. I just share the way I understand. Now, this is no exception. And I hope all this information I gave you might help you figure out where I am, and it may give you a hint on telling you, Americans, on where we are going as our American system is falling apart right before our very eyes. I hope you all do what you need to do. Prepare. Prepare and make plans to stand up against unconstitutional laws, regulations, because that's where we're going. And if you don't stand, you will be on your knees. This is Mike. Mike Mall, NoStressMike.com.